Hello students, welcome to my educational channel EasyEd. In our last video, we were discussing about classification of kingdom Monera. Continuing with it, now we know that eubacteria on the basis of the mode of nutrition is divided into two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic bacteria are of two types again, that is photosynthetic and chemosynthetic. Photosynthetic, which prepare their food with the help of light, and it includes cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae. Examples are nostoc and abena. And chemosynthetic bacteria, which prepare their food with chemical compounds. They are chemosynthetic bacteria. Example, nitrosomonas and nitrobacter. These examples you can note them down for your CBSE board exams also, as well as NEET exams. Now, another type of eubacteria on the basis of the mode of nutrition are heterotrophic, means which depend on other organisms for food, and all those which do not prepare their food, all those which are parasitic, which depend upon other organisms, are included under heterotrophic bacteria. Many are there. Two examples I am telling you. Vibrio cholerae, that which causes cholera in man, and Salmonella typhosa, which causes typhoid. All these are heterotrophic bacteria, and there are many more. Now, broadly, we have kingdom Monera. Just a revision of that classification. Kingdom Monera was divided into Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Archaebacteria were the primitive types of bacteria, and Eubacteria were the true bacteria. Okay? Archaebacteria were divided into three types depending upon what? The habitat where they lived. What was that? They were halophiles, thermoacidophiles and methanogens. Halophiles, which lived in salty areas. Thermoacidophiles lived in hot springs, and methanogens in marshy areas and in the gut of ruminants. Then eubacteria were the true bacteria. Depending upon the mode of nutrition, they were divided into two types, autotrophic bacteria and heterotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic, which prepare their own food, and heterotrophic, which depend on other organisms for food. Autotrophic bacteria were again divided into two types by what was they? Photosynthetic bacteria and chemosynthetic bacteria. Photosynthetic, which produced their food with the help of light, and chemosynthetic produced their food with the help of the chemicals. Photosynthetic bacteria were cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae. Examples nostoc and abena. And chemosynthetic bacteria were nitrosomonas and nitrobacter. You have to learn these names. Then heterotrophic bacteria, just now I told you, Vibrio cholerae, Salmonella typhosa. So this was the classification of kingdom Monera. As you are studying bacteria in this chapter, in this Monera, one important thing you have to study is reproduction in bacteria. So, reproduction in bacteria is mainly of three types. What are three types of reproduction? Bacteria exhibits three kinds of reproduction. Bacteria reproduces by three ways. What are they? One is fission, then is by spores, and one is sexual reproduction. Now, what is fission? In fission, simply one bacteria divides to form two bacteria, which in turn divides again to form two bacteria in such a way one forms two, two forms four, Like this it goes on. So this is reproduction by fission. Just I will show you how does it happens. A bacterial cell divides into two. See, its membrane, its cell wall starts dividing. It starts converging at the center, slowly giving it a shape of two bacteria. Then its genetic material, whatever it is, primitive type of DNA, it also divides into two. One part goes into the one cell, other part moves towards the other cell, and gradually, slowly, it breaks from this place, from this conversion. This conversion joins gradually and slowly, and what happens? It breaks, forming two bacteria. Okay, so this is the bacteria showing fission. So one kind of reproduction is bacterial fission, in which one forms two, two forms four, and so on. Now second kind of reproduction which bacteria show is by spore formation, by forming spores. What are spores? What happens during unfavorable conditions? When the conditions are not favorable, bacteria produces spores. What are spores? Spores are small cells produced which gradually grow into the individual bacteria. During unfavorable conditions, bacteria produce spores, and each spore then develops into a single individual bacteria. Now, third kind of reproduction is sexual reproduction. Actually, it is not totally sexual reproduction because bacteria are primitive in nature. It is a sort of sexual reproduction. It is a type of sexual reproduction. Why? Because it takes place through DNA transfer. What happens? The primitive type of nucleus, which is found in bacteria, as we studied earlier, as bacteria are prokaryotes, the primitive type of nucleus, it has a primitive type of DNA, and this primitive type of DNA is transferred from one cell to another, and as it is by the DNA transfer, it is said to be as the sexual reproduction, or you can say a kind of sexual reproduction. So bacteria, how does it reproduces? It reproduces by three ways: by fission, by spore formation, and by sexual reproduction. What is fission? One cell forms two, two forms four, and so on. What is spore formation? During unfavorable conditions, bacteria forms spores. Each spore grows into an individual bacteria. And what is sexual reproduction? It is by the DNA transfer of DNA. It takes place, and it is a sort of sexual reproduction. Now, in this kingdom, one more organism you have to study, and that is known as mycoplasma. You have studied bacteria in this kingdom, as we have studied in the characteristics that bacteria are the sole members of this kingdom. So, we have studied all about bacteria. What are their types? How do they take food? What is their mode of nutrition? What are their habitat? And which kind of reproduction is there? And what are their different types? So, one more organism you have to study here in this kingdom, that is mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is an organism which lacks cell wall completely. Lacks means it does not has cell wall. Okay. Another characteristic, they are the smallest living cells known. It makes it unique. Question can be asked in NEET. What are the smallest living cells known? That is mycoplasma. What is their another characteristics? They can survive without oxygen. Means they are anaerobic. Then next, many are pathogenic in animals and plants. Pathogenic means cause disease. They cause diseases, and so they are called as pathogenic. So many are pathogenic in Animals and plants. Animals, of course, includes all the animals in which the diseases are caused by the mycoplasma. They are also known as PPLO. Remember this. What are PPLO? Again, a question asked in NEET. What is PPLO? PPLO is nothing other than mycoplasma. Mycoplasma is also known as PPLO. What is the full form? Pleuropneumonia like organisms. Pleuro means false. So they look like the pneumonia like organisms, and so they are called as PPLO, pleuropneumonia like organisms. Okay, so this is all about kingdom Monera. Next, we will start kingdom Protista. So, students, those who have not watched earlier videos of Kingdom Monera as well as 5 Kingdom classification, please go through my channel Easy Ed. We have all our videos there. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.